Someone knocks on your door, and before you've even said, "Come in," your cat is already gone. Flattened under the couch, or 3 rooms away, or up on top of the fridge like it's the safest place in the house. Your guest sits down, and 20 minutes later, still no cat. Maybe you've stopped even mentioning you have one. And here's the part that gets me. You know your cat isn't like this with you. At home, alone, they're affectionate, curious, maybe even a little bit of a menace for attention. So it's not that your cat is just unfriendly. Something specific is happening the moment a stranger walks in, and it's not personality, it's instinct. If you've ever felt embarrassed apologizing to guests for a cat who won't come out, or wondered if your cat simply doesn't like people, that frustration is completely fair, and it doesn't mean you have a broken or antisocial cat. It usually means nobody ever taught your cat how to feel safe meeting someone new, because most of us were never taught how to teach that. Most people think the fix is exposure. Just have guests over more often, let the cat get used to it. Maybe even pick the cat up and introduce them directly. But for a cat, that approach usually backfires. Cats build trust through control and predictability, not repetition and forced contact. Every time a stranger reaches for them before they're ready, it actually reinforces the idea that new people equal a loss of control, which makes the hiding worse, not better. So today, I'm going to give you a specific 5-minute routine, 5 simple steps you can run through with any new person, minute by minute, that's built entirely around how cats actually process trust. Do this consistently, and most cats start showing real curiosity towards strangers within a few weeks, instead of running the other way. Hi everyone, I'm the vet guy, your go-to pet care specialist. I spend my time breaking down cat behavior into things you can actually use, not vague advice like, give it time, but an actual step-by-step process. Feline behavior specialists have long pointed out that cats are unusual among common pets, in that they didn't evolve as a highly social species the way dogs did. Trust with an unfamiliar individual has to be built almost from scratch, on the cat's own timeline, not imposed on ours. So here's what we're doing, a full 5-minute, 5-step trust routine, exactly what to do at each minute and why it works. If you find this useful, hit subscribe now, because I put out a video like this every week and I don't want you to miss the next one. Before you even start the clock, 2 quick things about setup make a real difference. First, timing. Never start this routine right after something stressful, like a vacuum running, a loud argument, or another pet chasing your cat through the house. Their stress hormones are already elevated, and you'll be starting from a deficit instead of neutral. Second, always make sure your cat has a clear, unblocked escape route out of the room the entire time. A doorway, a gap under furniture, anywhere they can retreat to if they need to. Never run this in a closed room where the only way out is past the stranger. A cat who feels trapped will never relax, no matter how perfectly you run the 5 steps. Before your guest even sits down, here's the first thing to change. Don't let them approach your cat at all in that first minute. Instead, hand your guest something to leave nearby. A worn scarf, a spare cushion, even just their bag set down in the room. Most people think first impressions with a cat are visual. The cat sees the stranger and decides, but scent comes first for a cat, always. A new person's scent sitting quietly in the room, without them attached to it yet, lets your cat start processing who is this from a distance, completely on their own terms. I call this the scent first rule. The stranger's presence enters the room before the stranger does. The correct way to do it: ask your guest to simply sit down, ignore the cat completely, and let their belongings do the introducing for the first 60 seconds. One caution here: don't carry your cat over to sniff the guest directly. That removes the one thing that makes this work, the cat's own choice to approach. Minute 2, and your guest is still just sitting there, but now, how they sit matters. Most people assume that facing a cat directly, maybe crouching down and smiling, reads as friendly. To us it does. To a cat, a direct forward-facing body and sustained eye contact reads as a threat display. It's predator body language. The reveal. Ask your guest to turn slightly sideways on the couch or chair. Avoid direct eye contact with the cat and just continue their normal conversation with you. Not looking at the cat is, counterintuitively, the most inviting thing they can do. I'd call this the sideways sit, a small postural shift that signals, I'm not a threat and I'm not trying to interact with you, which is exactly the message a nervous cat needs before minute 3. A caution specific to this one: if your guest is a cat person who really wants to make eye contact and coo at the cat, gently ask them not to. Good intentions here often undo the whole routine. Have you ever heard that cats say "I love you" with a slow blink? It's true, and minute 3 is where we actually use it. Most people wait for the cat to make the first move entirely and just sit there hoping, but there's a small, active signal your guest can send. The reveal. Once the cat is visibly watching from a distance, ears forward, not flattened, have your guest look toward the cat, blink slowly and deliberately, then look away again. This mimics the relaxed, trusting blink cats give each other and their favorite people. I call this the slow blink handshake. It's a two-way signal, your guest sends it, and if the cat is starting to relax, you'll often see them blink slowly back within a few minutes. The correct way to do it, only once, every minute or so, not repeatedly, which can feel like staring. One slow blink, then look away, then go back to normal conversation. By minute 4, some cats are already inching closer on their own. This is where a lot of well-meaning guests make their first real mistake. Most people, the second a cat gets close, reach a hand out to pet it. That single motion can undo the last 3 minutes of progress in an instant, because it removes the cat's control over the interaction right at the moment trust was building. The reveal. Instead of a hand, have your guest toss a single treat gently in the cat's direction, not directly at them, just a foot or two in front, and then go back to ignoring the cat completely. I call this the low-value toss. It's not about the treat itself. It's about proving that this stranger can give something good without taking anything in return. A caution here. Keep the treat small and the toss gentle. A treat thrown too far or too forcefully can startle a cat who is just starting to relax. Last minute, and this is the one people get most wrong because it looks so small. Most people think letting the cat come to you means sitting still and waiting. Close, but not quite. There's one more detail. The reveal. Have your guest lower one hand near their own knee, fingers loosely curled, palm facing inward, not extended toward the cat, just present and low. If the cat wants contact, they'll walk into it themselves, rubbing their cheek or head against the hand. I call this the open hand, not the reach. The hand offers itself, but never moves toward the cat. That distinction is everything, because it keeps the choice to make contact entirely with the cat. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but vet guy, my cat won't even get within 10 feet in the first session. This whole 5 minutes will just be steps 1 and 2. That's completely normal and honestly expected. Some cats take a single session to reach step 5. Others take a dozen sessions just to make it through step 2. The steps don't need to happen in one sitting. Repeating the earlier steps consistently, 5 minutes at a time, is still real progress, even if you never reach the treat toss on day 1. And a second question I hear a lot. What if my cat doesn't hide but actually hisses or swats when someone gets close? That's a different situation than shyness, and it's worth naming the difference. A cat who hides is avoiding a perceived threat by leaving. A cat who hisses or swats is avoiding it by warning the threat away. It's still fear, just expressed differently. This same 5-step routine still applies, but go slower than you think you need to, and never progress past step 2 until you see clearly relaxed body language. No hissing, no growling, tail not puffed. If the aggression is frequent, intense, or seems to be getting worse over time rather than better, that's worth a conversation with a vet or a certified feline behaviorist rather than working through it alone. And here's something I need you to watch for every single time you run this. If at any point your cat's ears flatten sideways or back, their tail starts thumping hard against the floor, or they freeze completely with wide pupils, stop the session immediately. Let your guest go back to ignoring them completely, or end the interaction for the day. Those are stress signals, not shyness, and pushing through them teaches your cat the opposite of what we're going for, that strangers are something to fear, not something to tolerate. A cat who hides again next time isn't a failure of the method. A cat who gets pushed past a stress signal and then bites or scratches is a real setback that can take months to undo. I've talked to owners who ran a version of this routine with a cat who'd been hiding from every single guest for over a year. Nothing dramatic happened for the first couple of weeks, just steps 1 through 3, over and over. But by week 3, that same cat was doing the slow blink on their own with regular visitors, and not long after, walking right up for the open hand. Small, boring-looking repetition is what actually works here, not one big breakthrough moment. Before you try this with every visitor this week, here's the golden rule. Don't run this with more than one new person at a time, and don't run it more than once a day. Multiple strangers at once, or multiple sessions crammed into one day, overwhelms the exact system we're trying to build trust in. One guest, one 5-minute window, once a day, consistency beats intensity every time with this. Let's run back through the 5 minutes. Minute 1. The scent first rule. Letting their belongings introduce them before they do. Minute 2. The sideways sit, turning the body away from a direct, threatening posture. Minute 3. The slow blink handshake, sending a real trust signal without touch. Minute 4. The low value toss, giving something good without taking control. And Minute 5. The open hand, not the reach, letting the cat make the final choice to close the distance. Trust with a cat isn't built through one grand gesture. It's built 5 quiet minutes at a time, on their terms, not ours. I want to know, which minute does your cat usually stop at right now? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this gave you something you can actually use tonight, hit like and subscribe. It genuinely helps this reach more owners dealing with the exact same thing. Give your cat an extra scratch behind the ears tonight from the Vet Guy.